We will start flow today. Okay. So, what is a flow? The first thing, প্রথম the একটু mute করবেন kindly. ওই feedback আসছে। So, what is a flow? First thing is that flow is the first step towards automation when we are trying to do something. Like how it happens. Like say I am creating one account. Now, the business requirement is whenever I am creating any account, automatically there should be some contacts which should be created. Or say, in account, I have a checkbox that is use this phone number for all contacts. So, uh, whenever that checkbox is checked, whenever there is any update in that or whenever the account record is getting created or getting updated, the phone number field, whatever is there in account, that value should get copied to all the related contacts. Now this kind of requirements, if I do not have any automation, what user needs to do, that person, like one person will go into the system and then create one account record and say there is some landline phone number given, that is the office number, and say that person is checking that yes, this number should be copied to all the contacts related to this account for in their phone number field. So manually that person needs to go to each and every contact and copy that phone number. Like that phone number needs to be updated for all the contacts, right? But this is not a very good way of handling the things. Here comes the automation. So the power of automation, what, like how it helps, like whenever we are checking that checkbox that this number should be copied to all the contacts, all the related contacts, so system will automatically identify all the contacts related to that account and copy that phone number, right? So this is one of the important thing. This is one of the important thing when we are handling uh, uh, different, like we are developing different kind of solutions in Salesforce. So this is called automation. Now this automation can be of different types. Like say uh, every year, like 31st December of every year, all my contacts should get one email for their happy and prospectus new year. So in that scenario, how it will happen? Ideally, one person can get into the system on 31st and send this email manually. Or if I have that ability of automation, what I can do, I can just schedule one process, one automation which will send this email to all the contacts because I have the email ID of those contacts, right? So I can just go like that automation can fetch all the email IDs of the contacts and send one email to all of them, properly addressing by their name and giving some message. So this is another kind of automation, right? So this, what does automation means? Automation is something which is done without intervention of any user every time, right? So that thing is called automation. Now flow is one of the uh, way, through configuration we can do this automation. Other ways are, say, using Apex we can do that, using LWC we can do that, with Visual Force page also we can do that, but those are part of development. Customization in Salesforce, customization means writing code. Okay, so without writing the code, if we have to do something, some way of automation is flow. So how many types of flows we have in general? If we go through the things, say if we simply go into this, how many types of flows are there? First is screen flow. Here we are getting, what is screen flow? When we have to create one customized screen, like one screen which is not our standard layouts, standard object layouts. In that scenario, when say there are 10 fields in account, but whenever somebody is creating account, they need to provide only field values of 5, and they need to see those 5 fields only in the screen. So how we can achieve this? We can create one screen flow for that. Other one is, say, record triggered flow. What is record triggered flow? Whenever we are doing any action, what kind of action? That is creating creation of one record, or if we are updating one record or deleting one record. These are the actions user can perform. At the background, there will be some actions automatically performed, like, say, if I am deleting one account, corresponding all the contacts needs to be deleted. Okay, so what like how we can handle this? We have to handle that using record triggered flow. In record triggered flow, there are two different types. One is before, one is after. What is before? Before is whenever we are uh, doing the action is having different parts. Like, first thing is that uh, when I am, say, updating one record, so there is one thing called pre-update and there is one thing called post-update. Okay, so pre-update means before updating that record, whatever my current values are, it will take those values for my reference, for our reference. Okay, and post means once this update is done, how we can identify and what kind of issues or what kind of scenarios we can see here. Say, once I am creating one account, there should be one contact automatically created along with that account. If that is my requirement, then what I have to do, I have to go, like, I have to create a record triggered flow on create action. Now, for create action, I have given the values in the screen, whatever values. So, before creating that record, can I get the Salesforce ID? Can I get the Salesforce ID of that record? Ideally, no, right? We cannot get that ID. But if I have to create one corresponding record of that account, corresponding contact of that account, then I need that account ID value, because in the lookup field, we have to populate that field value so that we can say that this contact is associated with this account. So, in that scenario, in the create event, we have to create a record triggered flow which will execute after insert, not before insert. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Uh,
So can
uh,
you just say again?
yep, I can come again. So, say you have one record, okay? You are creating one record. Say, just give me a second. Let me throw it in. Let me show it in Excel. So whenever say my requirement is create one contact when an account is created. If this is my requirement, and is that increased? What is happening? If that is my requirement, and say I am creating one contact, sorry, I am creating one account one. I am giving the values, say, this is the name, this is the address, this is phone number, then say I have website. But with all these things, there is another thing which is known as ID field, right? So I can give some name like say ABC Co. Address is something, say there is some phone number, say 033253, something like that, 0204. Say the website is www.abc.in. Say I have given all these values as input, but until and unless this record is inserted, can I get this ID value? Salesforce ID. When this Salesforce ID value created, when this record is inserted, right? So before insert, there is no ID. After insert, we can get the Salesforce ID. Is these two things clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, so if I have to create one contact record associated to this, how can I create that? Can I create that in before event? This is my before insert event. Can I do that? No,
No.
because I
No.
am not getting that ID. But if I have to create that contact, then obviously it will be after insert of account, because at that time I will get this ID, and in that contact, in that account lookup, I have to populate this ID. If this is my uh, account lookup, just give me a second. Bob. Hmm. Sorry. So the thing is that, so in account lookup, this ID, this account ID will get populated here in account lookup field. So it needs to be after insert. This cannot be in before insert. Now, whenever we are saying after insert, remember that commit Commit to database is not happening. Commit means finalizing that transaction. That is not happening till now. Whenever we are saying there is some insert or update and some flow or some other action is already associated with it, there is one thing which is called order of execution. Order of execution in Salesforce. This is not only true for triggers, this is also true for, look at this. This is one of the important thing. Whenever we are executing anything, any operation in Salesforce, whenever there is any change in any record, how the system behaves, loads initial record, whatever I have or whatever is given. Now it will perform system validation. Okay. What is system validation? That is, in the system, whatever validations are there, like in number field, I am typing something else, system will automatically validate it. Okay. Then before record triggered flows, remember this, before record trigger flows, then all before triggers. Suraj, you have done the development class where we have gone through triggers. So before executing, even before executing triggers, flow executes. That is before record trigger flow. Okay. Then the custom validations. Custom validations means our validation rules, whatever validation rule we have created. Then duplicate rules. Duplicate rules, initially we have checked, like whenever I have to find out what are the duplicates in the system, we can define duplicate rule. Duplicate rule will find out whether there is any duplicate of any record which is matching the criteria, right? So this one is quickly go through with what is duplicate rule. Just give me a second. So, what is duplicate rule? I can have this account duplicate rule. In account duplicate rule, how it will work, whether it will put alert, whether we can generate report or not, these things are there. What are the matching rules of account? That is fuzzy, the fuzzy logic of name. We can use fuzzy logic only for the name or the standard fields. Okay. And it will check if blanks are there, then it will not consider it. Okay. And there are account, it has its matching rules as well. What is matching rule? Here we will define what is that matching criteria. So these are the duplicate rules by which we can identify duplicates. We can write our own duplicate rules. Okay. So there are different matching rules. These are the standard ones. This one is right now active, and this is a custom logic we have put. Okay. These are the standard ones. So for account contact lead, there are already standard rules in the system. We can activate and deactivate matching rules. To activate and deactivate active duplicate rules, first we have to deactivate those matching rules. Anyway, so this is the duplicate rule. So duplicate rule executes, saves the records to the database, but does not commit yet. This is one of the most important and crucial thing. In database, whenever we are doing any operation, we are the final thing is commit. Commit means it is actually placed in the system. Otherwise, this is a virtual thing. That is, this save is virtual, because if there is any issue, any error, it will roll back. Okay. Then we have all after triggers. Triggers, not the flows. Remember. Then there is assignment rules. What is assignment rule? Mostly in case we use it, that is, case in case object. Whenever a case is getting created, we need to assign that case to someone, because that is something urgent, someone needs to look into that. So case can be assigned to a queue, case can be assigned to users, uh, that thing, like depending upon specific logic. So what is that? Whenever we are getting one case, probably I have defined some assignment rules depending upon the pin code, or say region. So if it is North region, whatever cases are coming, North region people should be looking into that. And say there are three people in different shifts. So we are just actually creating one queue and assigning that case to that queue, so that whoever is active in the system right now in that queue, any user, that person can pick up that. So this is called assignment rule. Then there is auto response rules. Okay. So workflow rules are not used anymore. If there are old system, old things are there, then this will execute. Then there is escalation rules. Escalation is again related with case. Okay. Then the process.
Hello.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Sir, duplicate rule, delete the duplicate record or stay.
It will not delete. It will only highlight whatever is duplicate. If we look into this, we have uh, no potential duplicate of this account. If I create another account with this name, what was the name? Data Colada. Let me create another account. The duplicate rule is not activated, I believe, properly. Otherwise, with this fuzzy match account name, it will bring that up here. Let's look into the duplicate rule. This is active. It should always be bypass sharing rules. Sorry, it should be enforce sharing rules. No, ideally, this one. No, always it should be bypass sharing rules. Why it is bypass sharing rules? Because Whenever we are saying enforce sharing rules, that means if that person does not have access to that to the other record, it will not uh, allow, it will not show that this record is duplicate of another record. But ideally, whenever we are creating account duplicate rule, it must be bypassing the sharing rule so that all the records in the system are checked. Now, account name matching rule. Ideally, it should not be an issue to plan. Okay, and then anyway, in either scenario, it should show that this is duplicate, but somehow it is not working right now because of, might be because of any reason. Oh, it is doing exact match. It is not doing a fuzzy match. So I have to check that fuzzy logic. But anyway, it will say this. There is one duplicate. Okay. Let me still save it. You can see this. There is one component, and we can do merge of accounts from this screen. So duplicate rule will not delete any record automatically. It will give you the notification that there is another record which exists with same name or same details. Clear, Suraj?
Yeah, yeah, yes, sir.
Okay. So then it will go through in the order of execution. It will go through, executes these Salesforce flow automations, whatever flow automations we have written. Then executes record triggered flows, okay, which are mentioned as after, which are mentioned as after. So I have before trigger flow, before the triggers, and after trigger flows, after apex triggers. Okay, all after triggers, and then this one. Then there are so many things, entitlement and all these things. Once all these things are done, at that time there will be commit. Okay, you can see this executes criteria based sharing rules. We have gone through what is criteria based sharing rules, right? And then it will commit. There are after commit logic as well. Commit means now it is permanently saved in the database. There is no gap anymore. So if you need this, I can just share this document with you. So I have given in the group. So primarily when we are going through what was that list of flows? Yes. So that is our record triggered flow. Then there is auto launched flow. Auto launched flow means something the flow is getting launched from another apex or any other flow. In that scenario, that will say auto launched flow. And schedule triggered flow, you can understand that you are scheduling a flow. Okay, you are scheduling a flow to execute for a specific period of time, or in a specific date or something like that. So that is like say sending a happy new year email to everybody at 31st December or something like that. So that is scheduled trigger flow. So we have covered what are the types of flows we have, what is the order of execution, and this order of execution is very very important. Okay, always remember that. Now if, oh my goodness, please excuse me for a minute. Okay, 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 I'll talk to you after 1 hour. Okay, bye. So there are some urgent issues going on, that's why I'm getting so many calls today. Okay, then um not this one. Where is my order of execution? Order of execution is done. Now, the important thing is that what are the elements of flow? Okay. So, first thing is flow action. What kind of actions we can perform? If we go to this, we can look into detail. Okay. Set input variables, store output variables, and so many actions we can perform. Then we can add prompts. This is prompt instruction. We can use Apex action. That is something who has not gone through Apex cannot understand this right now. So let's ignore it for now. Then we have assignments. That is, I can assign values in variables and in collections. Okay. Collection filter, collection sort, create records. We can create records from flow. Okay. Custom error. We can show custom error. Get records, you can understand whatever records are in Salesforce, I can fetch that. Okay. Decision. This is one of the most important thing in any language, wherever we are using if condition, like do this or do that, depending upon any condition, that is decision. Okay. Delete record, email alert. I can send email from flow. Say there is some condition, depending on I have to send one flow, send one email. So I can send email alert. All these things need dedicated learning. So go through all these things. I have already provided this link, I believe. Let me check that quickly. This one. Okay. So before going through any other, like, here you have the things, you have to go through this twice. First, before starting the trailheads, the trailheads I have already given. Before starting those trailheads, go through this. First, go through this. You will get the vague idea that what can be done, not exactly until you are doing this manually by your hand. Now go through these trailheads and complete the trail mix and complete the assignments. Okay. At that time, whenever you are getting this, like say email alert, there are some limitations, there are some specifications of email alert. How I can send one email? Can I use any email template? Now, what is email template? In Salesforce, we can define some email template, that is predefined template, predefined body, and that email can be sent. Now, if I have to do this, what should be, like, can I define who would be in CC of those emails? CC means carbon copy. So in two, we are giving the exact to whom it should go, and CC is only for information, like whoever is in carbon copy, those people should be intimated that this thing is going to happen or this email is sent to these people. Okay, for future reference. So how can I mention those CC? Can I configure that in email template, or I can put that from my flow itself? So all these things you will understand when you are trying to do this. Okay, I will give one assignment. Then loop. This is another important thing. When you have collection or there are multiple records, you have to go through loop. But within any loop, you must not put any create record or delete record or get record. Okay. So get record is your uh, SOQL. Actually, in Salesforce, SOQL means by which you can fetch records, and your create record, delete record, these things, or update record, these are your DMLs, data manipulation language. So within loop, there must not be any fetch statement, there must not be any insert, update, delete statement. There must not be. Also, if you have to send email to multiple people, that should also not be from a loop. Clear? Clear to everybody till now?
Yes.
Now, you have another flow element which is called wait. Flow element screen, when we are using screen flow. Flow element start is the starting point of the flow. If I need to put some condition, something, uh, like how it will execute, when it will execute, those things. Subflow means I am bifurcating, like there is some standard module I have created as subflow, and I can utilize that from different flows. That is also possible. Transform is fine, I am not going through that. Update record is one of the important thing. Now remember one thing. Say you are updating some field value in the same record. Say you are creating, you are updating one account, and automatically you want to set one value in that account record itself. We do not need update record, and that must be done through before update. In before update, if we just assign the value in that field, it will automatically take that value when it is saving that record. Okay. And if I am doing some operation, some insert, update, delete, something in a related record, like say I am creating or updating account, and I need to do something corresponding to the contacts which are associated with that account. Ideally, changing anything in contact part should go in after trigger flow. If I am doing anything in that same account, then that should get into before trigger. Otherwise, it will create a recursion. Okay. From after trigger, if I am updating the same record, it will create a recursion within that flow. That flow will get called again and again, because when you are trying to insert or update, and in after trigger flow, it will try to fetch the values, it will try to update. You have to use the update statement again from update trigger. And within that update trigger, whenever you are fetching that record and you are updating the same record, it will again, when it is trying to save the record, it will fetch that flow again, and it will try to execute that flow again. So it will create recursion. So don't ever use update statement to update the same record. That should be using assignment from before trigger flow. Okay. Marketing cloud, I am not sharing it. Any question?
Uh, yes, sir.
Uh,
Hello.
yeah, Suraj, go ahead.
Uh,
Go
uh,
ahead. Yeah, yeah, go ahead, Suraj.
sir, I have two different fields from different object. Can we apply matching rule here?
I didn't get your question.
I have two custom field. Okay,
Mhm.
from different object. Can I
From different
apply? Yeah, can I apply matching rule here?
matching rule.
Yeah.
Uh, where you are finding matching rule?
Yes, sir. Like duplicate rule or matching rule.
Duplicate rule or matching rule is something else. We are going through flow. Anyway, I will address this question. But the point is, are you asking some question related to flow or duplicate rule?
Duplicate rule.
Duplicate rule. I will come to that.
Okay.
Regarding this flow, do you have any question
And
regarding?
is there any limitation in flow single per transaction? Like how many records will executed in single transaction?
That is a very good question. Yes, there is. I'll check that limit, and I'll let you know. Most probably that is 10,000. In using flow, we can operate on 10,000 records in a single go. How much I can remember right now.
Okay.
Okay. Now, regarding this flow, elements of flow, anyone have, is there any question regarding this flow? What are the elements we can use in flow? So understanding flow elements is very, very important. First, go through all these elements. What are these elements? What are the functionalities of these elements? Okay. And then we will come back to how we can write a flow. What are the steps to go through that? Okay. Now, before moving to what we should do in a flow, or what is the business process automation and all these things, let's discuss your point. So, Suraj, we can we can utilize different objects in a matching rule or in duplicate rule if that is related. Okay, so I can create like say in matching rule, I can create new rule, say that is on account, and I can utilize fields from, just a minute, this is parent account. No, let me create that on lead. We can use current user's profile in duplicate rule. Okay, and you can see these are mentioned as from which object it is taking. For lead, lead duplicate rule, we can match that with account name as well, or contact name. Okay, that is possible. But if these objects are unrelated, then we cannot utilize that. Okay, if it is related, if required, you can create a formula field to get that value and utilize that, though that is not best practice. Okay, formula fields should not be used in reports and dashboards and these things. If it is related, then you can utilize fields from different object. Now let's come to this. We have already gone through this power of automation, what we can do with automation and all. Interactive experience, we have discussed screen flow, like say there is some custom questions I have to ask to user, I can just create that. What is auto launch flow, we have discussed. Approval process we haven't done. Approval process is something which we will cover in the last session. Okay, then there is record triggered flow, schedule triggered flow, we have already discussed that. Platform event trigger flow, I haven't covered it, and we are not going to cover these two here, also not the apex one. Now there is simple definition by what we can do what. So whenever you are going through this, first complete this one, you can just drag and drop here. Okay, so do that, do this mapping. This is quite interesting, and let me get in. Anyone say anything? Okay, so there are some basic important things. Uh, Gautam, there is feedback. Is there any question? Okay, so there is one thing called flow, one thing called flow builder, lunatic. These three things we should know. What is that? Builder is the tool by which we can create a flow. Okay. What is a flow? We have discussed that for long time. So how it looks like? How it looks like? So this is screen flow. This one, this example is a screen flow. All the elements and components, whatever you have, that comes in the left hand side. This is a screen when we are using screen flow. Anyway, we are not covering screen flow today separately. We are going through all the elements of flows. So this is contact info. Then this is find a match. This is get records. Okay. Whenever you are creating flow, you can just bring it from, you can just drag one element to another element to connect them. Okay. So this is great record. Whenever you are getting record, ideally you should be storing that. If get records means multiple records you are fetching, then you should store that in collection. That not must not be single variable. Okay. You can see this one, record single variable. Okay. There is record choice set. Screen components you can forget for now. Now there is another thing. This thing is called decision. Okay. And there is another thing which is loop. Anyway, we will come to that. Then again, you have this create record and this is update record. You can see this, these signs. Okay. And then you can come to the end. You can just go through these things. I'm not going through this. I'm just keeping it, what you can do and what you cannot do. Next day will be our last class. If you have, now this is flow builder. How you can write a flow? To get to a flow builder, go to setup, enter flows in quick find box. You will get flows. Can click on new flow. There will be a screen like this. So what are the kinds of flows you can do?
Acha, just tell me one thing.
Mhm.
Suppose some bank wants to send some fixed message to all their savings bank account holders that the interest rate is increasing from specific date. You want to pass on this message to their customers, maybe more than 10,000 customers they have. How they'll send it if they visit the Salesforce, and how should be the flow? Means,
So there can be different types altogether, Gautam. The first thing is
hmm,
that
hmm,
ideally
hmm,
it should be something, whenever we are sending this kind of messages, these are ad hoc
hmm,
messages. This is not a very specific thing by which you want to send. If you want to schedule it, say from next 1st April, you want to this is going to happen. So
hmm,
30th April, you want to send this message, or 31st March, you want to send this message. In
hmm,
that scenario, we have to develop one schedule trigger flow. And in
hmm.
that schedule trigger flow, probably there can be different types of customers. There can be customers who are having credit cards only, they are not having savings bank account.
No,
Okay.
no, no. I'm talking about only the for the savings bank account holder.
That's what I'm
They
saying.
want to send some fixed message that
that's
the interest rate is to be increased from this date, something like
that's
that. Some
that's what
information to, yeah.
that's what I am saying. So your customer base can have different kind of accounts
Yeah,
beside savings bank account, right?
yeah.
So you can write one schedule trigger flow. That schedule trigger flow will check on 31st, on 31st of March. You can schedule that flow, but that flow will check if that customer's bank account type is savings bank, SB, then send this message. Okay. and that will be very simple flow. It will only go for a single decision, like this. After they start, there will be one decision. One, in that decision you will check whether that account is or whether that contact, specified contact should be, before getting to this contact you have to fetch those contacts. So this flow will be on contact. There will be a find a match, that is get records. You will get the contact records. Either you can fetch
Contact
all
record
the
means mail, either mail or phone number. Only we are discussing only
oh,
the message
right,
should go only through mail.
say we are
Only through mail. Yeah, we'll
so
take
you can fetch
the mail field. Hmm.
you will fetch the email field, not only email field but also the account type, and with that account type you
And
can
type.
match it, or
Hmm.
within that query you can filter it out. Okay, so
Hmm.
you will get
Hmm.
that. Then if you are filtering it out here, then you do not need any decision. You only add one email action. In that email action you can just provide the email template. Within that email template it will be written like savings and bank account interest rate is going up or going down, blah blah, whatever you have to write, and thanks and regards from bank team, and that will get to an end. This is very simple. If
No,
you have triggered
but the limitation is 10,000 at a time, right? You can
it,
create, but bank may have more than 10,000 accounts.
in that
So the next
scenario,
time also for, I mean, after 10,000 also another same action to be done. Is it automatic or manually he has to intervene?
no, ideally this kind of scenarios should be handled from batch epics, not from flow when you have more than 10,000 records.
Yeah.
So in batch epics you can do the same thing with apex code. So with the apex code you can just find it out. I can just show a simple batch. A simple batch class looks like this. Mm, where is the total one? This is the format of a batch apex. So within this start, you will fetch all the customer details who are having SB accounts. You have this execute. Within this execute, what you will do, you will write the code to send email, and from finish you can just count into how many people this email has, like you are sending this email, or it is already sent. So in batch apex, what will happen when there are so many records, you can automatically fetch that, and in batch, uh, I would say chunks, you can send that records, and send that email, and this thing can handle records starting from say 1 to like standard, standard size is 200. So 1 to 2000, whatever batch size you want to choose, you can choose. Accordingly, it will send automatically to all the people in chunks. That is
Okay.
a better way to handle that.
Okay. Okay.
So
Good.
configuring like configurations can be used in different places. First thing in Salesforce, whenever we are trying to do any automation, first we will try to do that using flows or the configurable ways. If we cannot meet that using configuration, then that should go via sorry, customization, that is by writing code. That is the thumb rule. Anyway, so why it is coming here, I'm not sure what is happening with my screen today. Anyway, so we were here, so we can just create these kind of flows. Okay, remember one thing: record triggered flow we have discussed before and after. Before record trigger flow or after record trigger flow, there is no separate option here. Once you create this record trigger flow, you have to go inside it, and then you have to choose whether that should execute before or after. Okay, don't get confused by, like, why I cannot see the before trigger flow or after trigger flow. Okay, schedule trigger flow, platform, you don't need to know right now. Platform event, record triggered orchestration, no need for now. Screen flows, you got that basic idea. When we are creating some custom screen for any customer, at that time we should be using this. So these are the recommended ones. These are the all what you can do. Okay, I'm not going to go through this directly now. This is toolbox. What is a toolbox? What is canvas? Okay, what is canvas? This thing is called canvas, where you can orchestrate your flow. Actually, you can design your flow. Okay, button and bar, this one. Always remember to activate. Always create a save new version, and always remember to activate one flow. I have seen people written the whole logic, but haven't activated, and they're like saying why it is not working. Okay,
Yes.
flow building blocks. What are the elements we can use? These are the connectors. You can simply drag. If you drag, it will automatically connect. Hmm? Whenever you are writing any flow, you have to identify which resource you are going to use. And whenever you are creating any variable, use the word where. Okay, single variable. If it is collection, use collection, the word collection, or use set, something like that, so that you can identify it going forward. Okay, important choice. Only the first record, it will fetch only one record. All records means you are using collection. Okay, is there anything else? Interaction elements, you already know, I have already covered that. These are the elements: create record, update record, get records, delete records, rollback. Rollback is one of the important thing. This is related to the word commit. Commit means finally you are stamping it out, like it will be finally updated in the system. Till that time you can do rollback, until and unless the record is getting committed. Okay, and there is another important thing. There is custom in the elements. Where is custom error screen? This is this thing. Whenever we are writing flow, we must be using custom error screen to show specific error message relevant to user. There must, whenever you are writing flow, always remember there must not be any unhandled exception or unhandled error occurred. This kind of message must not be seen in the screen. Whenever you are writing any flow, always use this custom error screen. Now add elements, you can see that is fine. Connectors, we have discussed those lines. Flow resources, which resources you can use. These are not that much relevant, you can just ignore it. Yes, this is important. Plan out the flow. First thing is that whenever you are writing the flow, you need to know what you need to do within that flow. This flow canvas is giving you the option to do the things, but what you have to do, that planning, this thing is called writing a flow chart or algorithm. Whenever there is some issue, there is any statement, you should be following these steps. You should be writing down this first, then you should be creating the flow itself. Now, what is a variable? You already know, like where I can store some value. That is a variable, right? And variable can be of, it can take, why do I need variable? You can go through this. I don't want to just re-utter what is already written and you have to go through. You can just read through. So I'm not wasting time for that one. This one is important whenever you are going through. Always remember what is global constant, if we can utilize it, how we can utilize it. Now, create a variable. How you can create a variable? You can just simply create a resource, and in that variable, when you are clicking on that, you can put the details. Okay, and once it is created, then you can drag it. Like you will get that resource. This variable is created, and this one you can drag. These are all there. Hands-on challenge you should be doing first. Okay, so complete this thing till this part, and by next class probably we are not going to have next week Saturday Sunday. It would be difficult. We will do something on, if possible, 30 or 31st. Can we have a class in the evening?
Yes.
Mm,
Gautam da,
evening. Evening. Any day, morning is good, better for me.
morning,
If I
morning.
go out, then when you come back, we don't know. That's the problem.
সেটাই। রাত্রিরের দিকে কোনোদিনই মানে একটু বেশি রাতের দিকেও হবে না তো। মানে 30-31st একটু চাপ কি
31st তো
কম?
হবেই না। 31st তো
31st বলছি,
রাত্রিরে
31st night is not possible. Anyway, আমি 30th ভাবছিলাম। Because 4th we will not have the class. তো লাস্ট ক্লাসটা তাহলে let's do that on 5th. Try to do that on 5th.
ঠিক আছে, নো
Okay.
প্রবলেম।
তো আমরা একটা week we will take the gap,
হুম,
because that is required as well, because I am just giving you the this time is required to complete all these things. So you have your flow builder basic, you have a simple flow, how you can build a simple flow, create self registration flow for an experience cloud site, build a discount calculator. So this is a complete project. Ideally it should not take much time, and if you go through this, you 80% of the flow thing will be clear to you. 80%. Build a simple flow. You will like this one. How you can do this screen by screen? It is already given, right? I am not going to re-utter whatever is there, but what we will do, if you are facing any issue, come back with that, because most of the things whatever is required I have already given to you. Now do this thing hands on and come back with specific questions. We will discuss that in the next meeting, next class. And another thing is that uh, fourth is Saturday, I believe. So fifth, yeah, fifth we can do this. And in fifth, what we will do, we will discuss anything. If there is any confusion, any clarification you need, any questions you have, we will address that. Along with that, we will go through approval process, assignment rules, these things. Okay, those are the remaining part of the things. Those are the small things, not approval process. Approval process can be quite big, but we will go through what is approval and sorry, and assignment rules.
Acha,
And
I'm going off because I need to go out a little bit late.
sure,
Okay.
sure, sure. It is already done
Till
for
it, till
today.
it. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you
Mhm.
also.
Thank you.